Sir Richard John Hadlee, born on July 3, 1951, in Christchurch, New Zealand, is one of the most iconic figures in the history of New Zealand cricket. Hadlee's love for the sport was cultivated early in life, thanks to his cricketing family. His father, Walter Hadlee, was a former New Zealand cricketer and an important figure in the country's cricketing landscape, and his brothers, Dale and Barry, also represented New Zealand at various levels. Growing up in such an environment, it was no surprise that Richard was drawn to cricket from an early age. Hadlee honed his skills at Christchurch Boys High School, where he became known for his exceptional fast bowling abilities. He soon joined Canterbury, his local domestic team, and began to make a name for himself as a promising fast bowler. His early performances in New Zealand's domestic cricket circuit were impressive, and his potential became evident as he bowled with pace, accuracy, and bounce, quickly establishing himself as one of the finest fast bowlers in the country. Hadlee's bowling style was known for its consistency, controlled aggression, and ability to swing the ball, which would later become his trademark on the international stage. By the early 1970s, Hadlee had established himself as a force to be reckoned with in New Zealand's domestic cricket scene. But it was only a matter of time before he was called up to represent his country at the international level. International debut and early years. Richard Hadlee made his Test debut for New Zealand in 1973 at the age of 22 in a series against Australia. The young bowler struggled in his debut match, but his talent was clear and he quickly adapted to international cricket. His ability to swing the ball both ways and generate bounce from seemingly nothing gave him the potential to be one of the greats of the game. His first breakthrough came in 1975, when Hadlee took his first 5-wicket haul in a Test match against Pakistan. This performance marked the start of his journey as a premier fast bowler for New Zealand. Though Hadlee's early years were marked by sporadic success, the 1970s were generally difficult for New Zealand cricket. The team struggled against some of the more powerful teams of the era, including Australia, West Indies, and England. Nevertheless, Hadlee remained a constant threat with the ball and showed his potential as a bowler who could perform well in any conditions. His rise to prominence began in earnest during the late 1970s and early 1980s, as he began to take charge of New Zealand's bowling attack and develop into one of the finest fast bowlers in world cricket. Career peak. Dominating the world stage. Richard Hadlee's career truly reached its peak during the 1980s, when he became one of the premier fast bowlers in world cricket. His combination of speed, swing, and accuracy made him a threat to any batsman, and his dominance on the field earned him recognition both in New Zealand and internationally. 1985-1986, the historic series in England. One of the defining moments of Hadlee's career came in the 1985-1986 tour to England, where he became the first ever New Zealand bowler to claim 400 wickets in Test cricket. His performance during the tour was outstanding, and it was in this series that Hadlee's international profile began to soar. He finished the series with a career-best performance, taking 9 wickets in a match against England at Edgbaston, solidifying his place among the best fast bowlers of the time. Hadlee's ability to swing the ball both ways, along with his sharp control and impressive pace, made him a key figure in New Zealand's attack during the 1980s. Throughout this period, he established himself as the spearhead of the national team's bowling lineup, often leading New Zealand to victory with his match-winning performances. 1983-1984. The West Indies Challenge. Hadlee's best year came in 1983, when he achieved the remarkable feat of taking 11 wickets in a match against the mighty West Indies. This performance was especially notable as the West Indies, led by Clive Lloyd, were the dominant team in world cricket at the time, with a powerful lineup including legends like Viv Richards and Malcolm Marshall. Hadlee's ability to perform under such pressure highlighted his skill and poise as a fast bowler. In the 1980s, Hadlee became a consistent performer in one-day internationals, ODIs, as well, helping to elevate New Zealand's standing in the shorter format of the game. By the end of the decade, Hadlee had firmly established himself as one of the leading fast bowlers in the world, and his performances helped New Zealand reach new heights in international cricket. Main achievements and records. Richard Hadlee's career is defined by numerous milestones and accomplishments that solidified his place among cricket's all-time greats. Leading wicket-taker for New Zealand. Hadlee is New Zealand's all-time leading wicket-taker in Test cricket, with 431 wickets from 86 Test matches. This achievement, achieved over a period of 17 years, made him the most successful fast bowler in the history of New Zealand cricket. World-class bowling average. Hadlee's bowling average in Test cricket was 22.29. One of the best averages for fast bowlers in the history of the game. This statistic reflects his remarkable consistency and ability to take wickets in all conditions, whether at home or abroad. Historic 9-wicket haul. Perhaps one of Hadlee's most memorable performances came in the 1985-1986 Ashes series, where he took a career-best 9 wickets in a Test match. This remarkable feat is still regarded as one of the greatest individual bowling performances in cricketing history. First New Zealand bowler to reach 400 wickets. Hadlee became the first New Zealand cricketer to reach the 400-wicket milestone in Test cricket, a historic achievement that helped cement his legacy as one of the best bowlers of his generation. ODI success. Hadlee was not just a force in Tests. He also played a crucial role in ODIs for New Zealand. He took 158 wickets in one-day internationals, playing an important role in the team's competitive standing in the shorter format of the game. Retirement and final years. By the time the 1990s arrived, Richard Hadlee was already in his late 30s, and his body began to show signs of wear and tear from the intense demands of international cricket. Despite these challenges, Hadlee continued to perform at a high level, and he led New Zealand's attack until his retirement in 1990. In 1990, Richard Hadlee announced his retirement from Test cricket, ending a glorious career that had spanned nearly 2 decades. His final Test match was against Sri Lanka at Christchurch, where he received a hero's farewell. Even as he entered his final years, Hadlee continued to remain at the peak of his game. And his contribution to New Zealand cricket was celebrated widely. Post-retirement and legacy. After his retirement, Richard Hadlee became an integral part of New Zealand cricket as a commentator, coach, and mentor to younger fast bowlers. He worked with several up-and-coming New Zealand bowlers and continued to contribute to the development of the sport in his home country. In recognition of his immense contribution to the game, Hadlee was knighted in 1990 for his services to cricket, becoming Sir Richard Hadlee. His legacy is not only defined by his incredible bowling records but also by his leadership, his influence on future generations of cricketers, and his passion for New Zealand cricket. Hadlee's influence transcends his records, as his performances during his career helped to elevate New Zealand cricket to the global stage. As the country's most iconic fast bowler, Hadlee is regarded as one of the finest bowlers in the history of the sport. Mahela Jayawardene, born on May 27, 1977, in Colombo, Sri Lanka, was one of the finest batsmen to ever represent Sri Lanka on the international stage. Hailing from a cricket-loving family, Jayawardene was immersed in the sport from a young age. He showed an early interest and talent for cricket, joining the Nalanda College cricket team in Colombo. Even as a teenager, Jayawardene's elegant stroke play and composure at the crease were noticeable, signaling a bright future for the young cricketer. Mahela's early cricketing inspirations came from watching the great Sri Lankan cricketers like Aravinda de Silva and Sanath Jayasuriya, who were at the forefront of Sri Lanka's global cricketing dominance during the 1990s. Jayawardene quickly made his name in the domestic cricket scene, playing for Colombo Cricket Club and impressing with his technique and consistency. His rise in the ranks was swift, and his breakthrough came when he was selected for the Sri Lankan national team in 1997. Jayawardene's early years were filled with determination, and he worked relentlessly to hone his craft. His sharp cricketing mind, coupled with his natural elegance, helped him stand out as a potential future leader of Sri Lankan cricket. He made his debut in ODIs against India in 1997, and his performances were watched closely by selectors. It didn't take long for the cricketing world to recognize his prodigious talent and his unique ability to blend technical prowess with flair. International debut and early career. Mahela Jayawardene made his Test debut for Sri Lanka in 1997 against India in Colombo, marking the beginning of a legendary career that would span over 17 years. In his early Test matches, Jayawardene showed glimpses of his extraordinary skill with the bat. His elegant stroke play, combined with a solid technique, soon made him a reliable middle-order batsman for Sri Lanka. In the 1999 Cricket World Cup, Jayawardene made his mark on the global stage, showcasing his cool temperament and ability to perform under pressure. During this tournament, he helped Sri Lanka reach the semi-finals, cementing his place in the team. His composure in handling high-pressure situations in key matches revealed that he was not only a technically sound player but also a mentally tough one, capable of handling the pressures of international cricket. As the years progressed, Jayawardene's batting developed further, and his consistency at the crease began to make him one of Sri Lanka's most dependable batsmen. By the turn of the 21st century, he was firmly established as a key player for Sri Lanka across all formats, and his performances in the Test matches against England, Australia, and South Africa earned him recognition as one of the best batsmen in the world. Career peak. The rise of a Sri Lankan legend. Mahela Jayawardene's career reached its peak in the mid-2000s, during which he not only became one of the finest batsmen of his generation but also one of Sri Lanka's most influential cricketing figures. His performances in both Test cricket and ODIs earned him accolades and cemented his place among cricketing greats. In 2005, Jayawardene's career hit a major milestone when he became Sri Lanka's captain. He took over from Marvan Attapattu, and his leadership would prove to be a pivotal factor in the growth of Sri Lankan cricket in the subsequent years. Under his leadership, Sri Lanka reached greater heights, including series victories in Pakistan and West Indies. Jayawardene's leadership was characterized by his calm and composed demeanor, as well as his ability to bring out the best in his players. His tactical acumen on the field, combined with his adaptability in all formats, allowed Sri Lanka to compete with the best. His captaincy was also marked by his belief in teamwork, often allowing his players to express themselves while maintaining a strong strategic outlook. 2007 Cricket World Cup. The 2007 ICC Cricket World Cup was a defining moment in Mahela Jayawardene's career. He played a crucial role in leading Sri Lanka to the final, an achievement that added to his reputation as a player capable of performing on the biggest stages. Jayawardene's leadership and batting in the tournament were exemplary, and he scored a stunning 115 in the final against Australia. A knock that showcased his class under pressure, even though Sri Lanka fell short in the final. The 2005-2006 Australian Series, one of Jayawardene's crowning achievements, came in the 2005-2006 series against Australia in Sri Lanka. He became only the third Sri Lankan to score a double century in Tests, scoring a brilliant 374 runs against South Africa in the 2006 Colombo Test. This innings is considered one of the best in Test cricket history and remains one of the highest scores in the history of Sri Lankan cricket. The 2000s saw Jayawardene become the bedrock of Sri Lanka's batting lineup. He played many match-winning innings, including in India, where he scored centuries in both Tests and ODIs, making him a feared batsman in both formats. His famous partnership with Kumar Sangakkara in the middle order made Sri Lanka one of the most formidable batting units in world cricket during that period. Main achievements and records. Test cricket. Mahela Jayawardene's records in Test cricket are truly remarkable. He scored 11,914 runs in 149 Test matches, with an average of 49.84. He scored 34 centuries in Test cricket, including a high score of 374, which was a record for the highest individual score by a Sri Lankan batsman at the time. His consistency and ability to score runs in all conditions made him one of the best Test batsmen in history. ODIs. In one-day internationals, Jayawardene amassed 12,750 runs in 448 matches at an average of 33.37. He scored 18 centuries and was instrumental in several of Sri Lanka's victories in international tournaments. His ability to anchor the innings and accelerate when needed made him a versatile and valuable player for Sri Lanka. ICC World 2020. Jayawardene was also an important figure in Sri Lanka's successful campaign in the 2009 ICC World 2020, where he led the team to the finals. His leadership and ability to adapt to the shorter formats were crucial to Sri Lanka's success in the global tournament. 5th. Most runs in ICC World Cups. Jayawardene became the 5th player to score over 2,000 runs in World Cups, joining an elite group of cricketers. His contributions in major World Cup tournaments played a crucial part in Sri Lanka's success during the 2003, 2007, and 2011 editions. Leadership. Jayawardene captained Sri Lanka in both Test cricket and ODIs. leading them to major victories. He became one of Sri Lanka's most successful captains, reaching the pinnacle of world cricket rankings and enhancing his reputation as a strategic and inspirational leader. Final years and retirement. By the time Mahela Jayawardene reached the later years of his career, his influence and leadership had made him a respected figure both in Sri Lanka and across the cricketing world. However, after playing for over 2 decades, Jayawardene made the decision to retire from ODI cricket in 2015, following Sri Lanka's exit from the 2015 ICC Cricket World Cup. Jayawardene continued playing in Test matches, where he made his final Test appearance in 2014 against South Africa in Cape Town. He ended his Test career on a high, contributing to Sri Lanka's cricket legacy with his final match and iconic innings. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, popularly known as MS Dhoni or Mahi, was born on July 7, 1981, in the small town of Ranchi, Jharkhand, formerly Bihar, India. Dhoni came from a middle-class family, with his father, Devraj Singh Dhoni, working in a government job, and his mother, Devaki Devi, being a homemaker. Dhoni was the youngest of 3 siblings, and his childhood was marked by a passion for various sports, including football and badminton. Dhoni's early exposure to cricket came through playing gully cricket in the streets of Ranchi. He was a promising football player and a goalkeeper in his school team, which is where his sharp reflexes were honed. However, his love for cricket became undeniable, and by the time he was in school, he was already a budding cricketer. Dhoni's formal cricket training began in the local clubs, and he soon made his mark as a wicket-keeper batsman. His skills and determination caught the eye of Deval Sahai, a local coach who helped him secure a spot in the Bihar U19 team. Dhoni's first big break came when he was selected for the East Zone team in the Duleep Trophy in 1999. His performances at the domestic level started gaining recognition, and it wasn't long before he was spotted by selectors for the Indian national team. Journey to the national team. In 2004, at the age of 23, Dhoni made his debut for the Indian national cricket team in an ODI against Bangladesh. His first outing in international cricket was unremarkable, but Dhoni's career took off in the most dramatic fashion shortly thereafter. In his very next match against Pakistan, Dhoni exploded onto the scene, scoring a blistering 148 runs in just 123 balls. This innings was a revelation, showcasing Dhoni's aggressive batting style and ability to handle high-pressure situations. His early success was further cemented with consistent performances in subsequent series. Dhoni's exceptional ability to finish matches, his cool-headed approach under pressure, and his ability to clear the boundary with ease made him a fan favorite. His early career was defined by his hard-hitting style and unorthodox shots, making him one of the most entertaining players to watch in world cricket. Dhoni's performances in limited overs cricket soon caught the attention of the selectors for the Indian Test team, and in 2005, he made his Test debut against Sri Lanka. While his early Test career was challenging, he gradually found his feet in the longer format of the game, showcasing his ability to adapt and grow as a cricketer. Career peak, becoming captain. Cool MS Dhoni's career reached its peak when he was appointed as the captain of the Indian national cricket team in 2007, just ahead of the inaugural ICC World 2020 in South Africa. Dhoni's calm and composed demeanor earned him the nickname Captain Cool. Despite being relatively new to the leadership role, Dhoni led India to victory in the 2007 ICC World 2020, defeating Pakistan in the final. This victory was a significant moment in Indian cricket history, as it marked India's rise as a dominant force in T20 cricket. Dhoni's leadership qualities were further proven during his tenure as captain. Under his guidance, India won numerous accolades, including the 2007 ICC World 2020, the 2011 ICC Cricket World Cup, and the 2013 ICC Champions Trophy. These triumphs established Dhoni as one of the most successful captains in the history of Indian cricket. Main achievements and records. MS Dhoni's achievements as both a player and a captain are legendary, and he is regarded as one of the greatest finishers and leaders in the history of cricket. His numerous records and accolades are a testament to his skills, leadership, and consistency. ICC trophies. Dhoni is the only captain in cricket history to have won all 3 major ICC trophies. The ICC T20 World Cup, 2007. The ICC Cricket World Cup, 2011, and the ICC Champions Trophy, 2013. His leadership in the 2011 World Cup was particularly iconic. Dhoni played a match-winning knock of 91 not out in the final against Sri Lanka, guiding India to its second World Cup victory after 28 years. Captaincy. Under Dhoni's captaincy, India reached the #1 ranking in ICC Test cricket for the first time in 2009. Dhoni holds the record for the most ODI matches as captain, 200-plus matches, and he led India to numerous series victories, both at home and abroad. ODI and T20 records. Dhoni is one of the few cricketers to have scored over 10,000 runs in one-day internationals. ODIs. He is also one of the most successful finishers in ODI history, with numerous game-winning knocks under pressure. In T20 cricket, Dhoni's leadership played a pivotal role in India's rise as a dominant force in the format. He became the captain of the Chennai Super Kings, CSK, in the Indian Premier League, IPL, and led the team to multiple IPL titles. Wicket-keeping achievements. Dhoni is one of the most successful wicket-keepers in the history of world cricket. He holds the record for the most stumpings in ODI cricket, with over 100 stumpings to his name. His lightning-fast reflexes behind the stumps and his ability to innovate as a wicket-keeper made him a valuable asset to the Indian team. IPL success. As the captain of the Chennai Super Kings, CSK, Dhoni led the team to 3 IPL titles, 2010, 2011, 2018, and 2 Champions League T20 titles. His leadership, paired with his exceptional batting ability, made him one of the most successful captains in IPL history. Honors and awards. Dhoni has received several awards throughout his career, including the prestigious Padma Bhushan, 2018, Padma Shri, 2009, and Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, 2007. In 2011, he was named the ICC ODI Player of the Year and Captain of the Year, further solidifying his place as one of cricket's legends. James Michael Anderson, born on July 30, 1982, in Burnley, Lancashire, England, is widely regarded as one of the greatest fast bowlers in cricket history. Anderson's journey to becoming England's most successful fast bowler started in the cricketing heartlands of Lancashire, where his natural athleticism and passion for the game were evident from a young age. He was introduced to cricket by his father, a local amateur cricketer, and his talent quickly became apparent. From an early age, Anderson played for the Burnley Cricket Club, and his prodigious pace and swing made him stand out. By the time he was a teenager, Anderson had already caught the attention of Lancashire's talent scouts, earning him a place in their youth system. His ability to consistently bowl at high speeds with remarkable control was a rarity among young cricketers, and by the age of 19, he was already representing Lancashire's senior team. His breakthrough came in 2002 when, after impressing in county cricket, Anderson was called up to the England A-team, which played a key role in his development as a cricketer. His raw pace and ability to swing the ball both ways quickly caught the eye of national selectors. And soon after, Anderson made his England debut. International debut and early years in international cricket. James Anderson made his one-day international, ODI debut for England in 2002 against Australia at Melbourne during the VB series. His performance was promising, although it was clear he was still developing as a bowler. Anderson's Test debut came in 2003 against Zimbabwe in Lords, marking the beginning of his long and storied career in international cricket. In the early years of his international career, Anderson was often inconsistent, struggling to find the right length and rhythm. He had the raw pace and skill but had to work hard to fine-tune his game at the highest level. Over time, he developed a remarkable ability to swing the ball, and his effectiveness improved with experience. His commitment to working on his game, learning from experienced bowlers, and adapting to various conditions made him a more complete bowler. Anderson's early years were also marked by injuries that sidelined him for periods. His body, particularly his back and knees, required constant management. However, through these challenges, he developed a remarkable ability to bounce back, learning to work on his fitness and improve his resilience. Career peak. Establishing himself as one of the greats. By the time Anderson reached his mid-20s, his bowling had matured, and he became England's premier fast bowler. He not only developed his pace and swing but also added a new dimension to his game with his skill in reverse swing, making him a dangerous bowler in all conditions. Anderson's ability to swing the ball both ways, especially in English conditions, helped him become one of the most effective and feared bowlers in world cricket. One of the key moments that marked Anderson's rise to international prominence came during England's 2008 tour of New Zealand, where he played a crucial role in the team's victory. His aggressive bowling and ability to swing the ball at high speeds allowed him to consistently take wickets, and his performances became more consistent over time. Anderson became a cornerstone of England's bowling attack, leading from the front with his unmatched skill and control. In the 2009 Ashes series against Australia, Anderson emerged as one of the key performers, with his exceptional seam and swing bowling, taking wickets at crucial moments. His ability to bowl on flat wickets and deliver under pressure was evident when he took a match-winning 647 in the fourth Ashes Test at Edgbaston, propelling England to an Ashes victory on home soil. This victory was a defining moment in Anderson's career, as it proved his ability to perform at the highest level, and he became a hero to English cricket fans. Main achievements and records. James Anderson's career is a collection of remarkable achievements, making him one of the finest bowlers in the history of Test cricket. Over the years, he has broken numerous records and earned accolades for his consistency, resilience, and skill. Fastest to 600 Test wickets. Anderson became the first fast bowler in history to reach 600 Test wickets, achieving this feat during the 2017-2018 Ashes series. He broke multiple records throughout his career, with his ability to swing the ball and extract bounce from various surfaces making him a constant threat to batsmen across the globe. Leading wicket-taker for England. Anderson is England's all-time leading wicket-taker in both Test and ODI cricket. He has taken over 600 wickets in Tests, surpassing the previous record set by Sir Ian Botham. In ODIs, he has also taken over 250 wickets, solidifying his status as one of the most versatile fast bowlers in history. Ashes success. Anderson has been a key player in many Ashes series, playing pivotal roles in England's successes in the 2005, 2009, 2013, and 2015 Ashes series. His ability to perform in high-pressure environments, especially in Ashes series, has earned him the admiration of cricket fans worldwide. He has often delivered match-winning spells and provided crucial breakthroughs for England in these highly competitive contests. Record in English conditions. Anderson's skill in English conditions, particularly his mastery of swing bowling, has made him a force to reckon with on home soil. He has a remarkable record in England, where his ability to move the ball in the humid and overcast conditions gives him an edge over most other fast bowlers. Longevity and consistency. One of Anderson's most significant achievements has been his ability to remain at the top level for over a decade and a half. His sustained excellence over such a long period is a testament to his physical fitness, mental toughness, and adaptability. Anderson's ability to adjust his bowling techniques according to different conditions and formats has kept him relevant and dangerous, even as he moves into his late 30s, final years and retirement. As Anderson entered his late 30s, his career was still flourishing. While his body had undergone significant wear and tear over the years, Anderson's longevity in the game was the result of his commitment to fitness and discipline. Although he missed out on several tours due to injuries, he continued to be an essential part of England's bowling attack. Anderson's final years as a cricketer saw him transition into a more refined version of his earlier self. As a bowler in his 30s, he was no longer the express pace bowler that he had once been, but his swing and control over the ball made him a potent threat even without his former raw pace. He adapted his game to suit his physical changes, relying more on his guile, movement, and tactical intelligence. His final appearances for England came during the 2019 Ashes series in Australia and the 2021 series against India. Anderson continued to break records, and his ability to bowl with accuracy and maintain control over long spells made him one of England's most reliable bowlers. As he edged closer to retirement, Anderson's legacy was firmly cemented as one of the best fast bowlers the world has ever seen. He was praised not only for his remarkable career achievements but also for his professionalism, leadership, and contribution to the growth of England. Sir Alistair Nathan Cook, born on December 25, 1984, in Gloucestershire, England, is one of the most accomplished and respected cricketers in England's history. Cook's journey to international cricket began at a very young age. Raised in an affluent family, Cook was introduced to cricket by his father, a keen amateur cricketer. From early on, he displayed a natural flair for the game, excelling in both school and club cricket. Cook's potential was first spotted at the Marlborough School, where his batting ability caught the attention of regional scouts. He soon became part of the Essex County Cricket Club's youth system, a club where he would spend the majority of his career. His rise through the ranks was swift, and by the time he was 19, Cook was already playing for Essex's senior team. It wasn't long before his performances in county cricket led to a national call-up. In 2006, Cook's consistent performances at the county level earned him a place in the England A team, which allowed him to further showcase his talent. That same year, Cook made his mark with a century for England A against a strong India A team, which helped solidify his place in the minds of selectors. International debut and early years. Cook made his Test debut for England in March 2006 against India at Nagpur during the 2006 T20 series. His debut performance was far from spectacular, but the calm and collected approach that he displayed caught the eye of the selectors. His first significant Test innings came in his second Test, when he scored a solid 60 runs against Pakistan at Old Trafford in 2006. This innings demonstrated Cook's resilience and ability to handle the pressures of international cricket. Cook's early years in international cricket were marked by a steady but unspectacular rise. He had a reputation for being a technically sound batsman, one who could withstand pressure with his stoic demeanor. He played alongside some of England's finest players of the time, including Andrew Strauss, Kevin Pietersen, and Marcus Trescothick. Together, this cohort of players began to lay the foundations of a competitive and successful England team. Career peak, establishing himself as one of England's greatest batsmen. Alastair Cook's career reached its zenith during the 2010s, where he established himself not only as a reliable opening batsman but also as one of the best in the world. His greatest contribution to England came in the form of his batting consistency. Cook became known for his ability to accumulate runs, often in challenging conditions, and his composure under pressure. 2010-2011 Ashes Series. One of the defining moments of Cook's career came during the 2010-2011 Ashes Series in Australia. After enduring a rough start to his Ashes career, Cook played a pivotal role in helping England win the Ashes for the first time in Australia in 24 years. He was the standout batsman in that series, amassing a monumental 766 runs, including an incredible double century in the second Test in Adelaide. This series cemented Cook's reputation as one of the finest opening batsmen in world cricket. By the time the 2013-2014 Ashes series came around, Cook was already England's captain and had firmly established himself as a key figure in the team's setup. His leadership in that series was instrumental, even though the results didn't always favor England. His presence at the crease was considered an anchor for the team during difficult periods. 2010s, accumulating records. Cook's peak years saw him breaking numerous records. Among his greatest achievements was surpassing Wally Hammond's record for the most runs by an Englishman in Test cricket, a feat he achieved in 2015. Cook also became England's most capped player in Test cricket, passing the legendary Jack Hobbs record of 61 Test appearances in 2016. He consistently ranked among the top batsmen in world cricket, accumulating runs at an extraordinary rate, particularly in English conditions. Main achievements and records. Cook's career is defined by numerous records and significant milestones that underscore his remarkable contributions to English cricket. England's leading run scorer. Cook is England's all-time leading run scorer in both Test matches and one-day internationals, ODIs. He accumulated over 12,000 runs in Tests, with 33 centuries and 57 half-centuries to his name. He remains the highest-ever Test run scorer for England, with an unmatched ability to perform consistently over a long career. Record-setting 2011, Cook became the first English batsman to score more than 2,000 Test runs in a calendar year in 2011. He achieved this feat in a year that included memorable centuries against India and Sri Lanka, making him one of the most reliable batsmen in world cricket. Double century in India. One of Cook's finest innings came in 2012 when he scored a remarkable 200 runs against India in Nagpur, during England's series victory. This innings was a testament to his ability to play long innings in the subcontinent. conditions traditionally difficult for English batsmen. Captaincy and leadership. In 2012, Cook was appointed England's captain after Andrew Strauss stepped down. Under Cook's leadership, England achieved significant success, including a historic win in India in 2012-13 and climbing to the top of the ICC Test rankings. Cook's leadership was always calm and composed, and while his record as captain is mixed, his contribution as a batsman never waned. His leadership was crucial in developing the next generation of English cricketers. Longevity and consistency. Cook's career spanned 12 years, with his performances rarely dipping in quality. He became known for his remarkable consistency and mental fortitude, traits that made him one of the most reliable opening batsmen in world cricket. Even in his final years, Cook continued to perform at a high level, exemplifying his durability and commitment to the game. Final years and retirement. As Cook entered his late 30s, his form began to wane. Though his place in the team remained largely unchallenged for a significant period, his final years were characterized by his determination to continue playing at the highest level, even as his performances became more inconsistent. Cook's last years saw him struggle to maintain the level of form that had once made him a fixture at the top of England's batting order. The 2017-2018 Ashes series in Australia proved to be one of Cook's final challenges. Although he played a key role in the series, contributing valuable runs, the series saw the end of an era for Cook. In 2018, he announced his retirement from one-day internationals after a long and successful career. His last Test series was in 2018 against India in England, and despite a challenging period for England's team, Cook's final innings at the Oval was a fitting end to a career that spanned over 161 Test matches. In September 2018, after playing his final Test match at the Oval, Cook announced his retirement from all forms of international cricket. His final Test match was emotional, as he had been a stalwart of English cricket for so long. The English cricketing community and the wider cricketing world paid tribute to Cook's contributions, as his achievements and records solidified his place among the greats of the game. Wasim Akram, widely regarded as one of the greatest fast bowlers in the history of cricket, was born on June 3, 1966, in Lahore, Pakistan. Akram was the youngest of 3 children in his family. Growing up in a middle-class household, he was introduced to cricket at a very young age by his father, who was a huge fan of the sport. His early childhood was marked by an inherent talent for sports, particularly cricket, which he played in the narrow lanes and streets of his hometown. Akram's interest in cricket grew, and he began playing in the local parks, where he was spotted by Imtiaz Ahmed, a former Pakistani cricketer. Imtiaz was quick to recognize Akram's raw talent and urged him to pursue cricket seriously. Akram's early cricketing education was primarily under the guidance of local coaches in Lahore, where his love for fast bowling began to develop. However, his journey into cricket was not easy. Despite his obvious talent, his early years were marked by several struggles, including financial constraints, which made it difficult for him to afford proper training and equipment. Nevertheless, Akram's passion for cricket never wavered, and by the age of 16, he was already playing at the domestic level for Lahore. His performances in domestic cricket were impressive, and he quickly attracted the attention of selectors for the Pakistan U19 team. It wasn't long before he made his debut for the Pakistan national cricket team. Debut and early career. Wasim Akram made his one-day international (ODI) debut for Pakistan in 1984 against New Zealand. However, his entry into the international cricketing scene was not immediate stardom. Akram struggled initially, with his bowling lacking consistency. However, it became clear that his pace, combined with his natural ability to swing the ball, would eventually set him apart from other fast bowlers. In the early stages of his career, Akram was mentored by the legendary Pakistani bowler Imran Khan, who played a crucial role in guiding Akram's development both as a cricketer and as a leader. Under Imran's tutelage, Akram honed his skills and became more effective with the ball, learning to swing both ways with remarkable control. His breakthrough came in 1985, when he claimed his first significant international wickets and was able to consistently hit the right areas. By the late 1980s, Akram's performances began to improve significantly, and he established himself as one of Pakistan's leading fast bowlers. His ability to swing the ball both ways, especially in the subcontinent conditions, made him a formidable weapon in Pakistan's bowling attack, Career peak, dominating world cricket. Wasim Akram reached the peak of his career in the early 1990s, becoming one of the most feared fast bowlers in world cricket. His ability to move the ball both in the air and off the pitch, along with his express pace, made him a threat to any batting lineup. The highlight of his career came during the 1992 Cricket World Cup, where Akram played a pivotal role in Pakistan's victory. In the final against England, Akram produced one of the most iconic bowling performances in cricket history, taking 3 wickets for 49 runs. His contribution was crucial in Pakistan's victory, and he was named man of the match for his stunning bowling display. His memorable wicket of Alan Lamb in the final, along with his sharp spells throughout the tournament, cemented his place as one of the greatest bowlers of his generation. Throughout the 1990s, Akram's form remained exceptional, and he was the spearhead of Pakistan's bowling attack. He was consistently among the highest wicket-takers in ODIs and Tests, and his ability to bowl in the death overs in limited overs cricket made him a match winner. In 1993, Akram's career reached another significant milestone when he became the first bowler in ODI history to take 400 wickets. Akram's performances in both ODIs and Tests were equally remarkable. He became the first bowler in ODI history to take 500 wickets and was known for his versatility, excelling in all conditions, from the dry, dusty pitches of the subcontinent to the swinging English conditions. His pace and movement, combined with his tactical mind, made him one of the most complete fast bowlers in the world. Main achievements and records. 1992 Cricket World Cup. Akram's most defining achievement came in the 1992 ICC World Cup. His match-winning performance in the final, where he took crucial wickets and bowled with extraordinary skill, ensured Pakistan's first-ever World Cup victory. Akram's all-round performance in the tournament earned him the man of the match in the final, and he played an instrumental role in Pakistan's triumph. Wicket-taking records. First bowler to take 400 ODI wickets. Akram became the first bowler to achieve 400 wickets in one-day internationals, a testament to his longevity and consistency in limited overs cricket. Fastest to 500 ODI wickets. Akram became the fastest bowler to reach 500 wickets in ODIs. A remarkable achievement for a bowler in an era when batting dominance was at its peak. World record for wickets. He retired as one of the highest wicket-takers in both ODIs and Test cricket. His tally of 916 wickets in international cricket, including both formats, is still regarded as a monumental achievement. Bowling versatility and consistency. Akram's ability to bowl in all formats of the game made him one of the most versatile bowlers. He had a remarkable capacity to adapt his bowling style to different conditions and formats. Whether it was the searing heat of the subcontinent or the seaming conditions of England, Akram excelled. ICC awards and recognition. Akram was named ICC Cricket World Cup Player of the Tournament in 1992 for his exceptional performances throughout the tournament. He was also named in ICC's Best Ever ODI and Test Angs, acknowledging his significant contributions to cricket across formats. Captaincy. In 1993, Akram was appointed as Pakistan's captain and led the team to several series victories. Though his tenure as captain was marked with mixed results, his leadership played an important role in shaping Pakistan's cricket during the 1990s. The final years and retirement. As Wasim Akram entered his late 30s, his body began to show signs of wear and tear. Injuries, particularly to his shoulder and knee, became frequent, and his pace began to decline. Despite these challenges, Akram continued to play and contribute to the team with his vast experience and skills. He retired from Test cricket in 2002, having played 104 Tests and taken 916 wickets in international cricket, which at the time was a monumental achievement. Akram continued to play in ODIs and the Indian Premier League, IPL, for a few more years before retiring from international cricket in 2003. He played his final ODI against India in 2003, marking the end of an illustrious career. He was also part of the Pakistan squad that competed in the 2003 ICC Cricket World Cup. After retirement, Akram transitioned into a successful career in coaching and commentary. He became a prominent figure in Pakistani cricket as a mentor for younger bowlers, offering guidance to players like Shoaib Akhtar and Umar Gul. Akram also became involved in various philanthropic efforts and business ventures. He remains involved in cricket as a commentator and coach and is still regarded as an authority on fast bowling. Curtly Elkan Lynes Ambrose, known simply as Curtly Ambrose, was born on September 21, 1963, in Sweets, a small village in Antigua and Barbuda. Ambrose's early life was marked by modest beginnings, but his towering figure, athleticism, and natural talent for sports made him stand out from an early age. Growing up in Antigua, a place renowned for its rich cricketing heritage, Ambrose was drawn to the sport as a young boy. His early exposure to cricket came from watching the legends of West Indian cricket during their dominance in the 1970s and 1980s, including greats like Sir Vivian Richards, Joel Garner, and Malcolm Marshall. Ambrose, a tall and lanky youth, was more interested in fast bowling from the very start. He played for his local club, Sweets Cricket Club, where he quickly established himself as a promising fast bowler. His athleticism, combined with a natural ability to generate pace and bounce, caught the attention of selectors in the Caribbean. Initially, his primary role was as a bowler capable of bringing in sheer pace, and as he progressed in his cricketing career, it became evident that he had the potential to become one of the finest fast bowlers the West Indies had ever produced. He was encouraged to refine his bowling techniques, and Ambrose took to the rigorous training of his craft. He made significant strides in his cricketing journey, and by the early 1980s, Ambrose's talent had caught the eye of regional selectors. He eventually made his debut for the Antigua and Barbuda team, and his outstanding performances in domestic cricket paved the way for his inclusion in the West Indies national squad. International debut and early career. Ambrose's debut for the West Indies national cricket team came in 1988, when he played his first Test match against India at the Firoz Shah Kotla ground in Delhi. At the age of 25, Ambrose made an immediate impact with his tall frame, rhythm, and remarkable ability to extract bounce from any surface. Though he didn't take many wickets in his debut test, his presence on the field made an impression, as he could bowl consistently at high speeds and with devastating accuracy. Ambrose's true breakthrough came in 1990 when he was selected for the West Indies tour of New Zealand. In his second test match, Ambrose had an outstanding performance, claiming 7 wickets for 25 runs against New Zealand. A performance that announced his arrival on the world stage. His combination of speed, bounce, and the ability to maintain control over long spells was something special, making him a bowler to watch. Ambrose's rise continued rapidly in the early 1990s, as he established himself as one of the West Indies' key bowlers, alongside Courtney Walsh, Ian Bishop, and Carlton Baugh. Ambrose was tall and commanding, often bowling with a menacing glare that made him one of the most intimidating fast bowlers of his era. By the time he was selected for the 1992 Cricket World Cup, he had already established his reputation as a key asset for the West Indies. Career peak, dominating the fast bowling world. The peak of Curtly Ambrose's career came in the mid-1990s, during a period when West Indies cricket was experiencing a shift in its dominance. With the decline of the West Indies' golden era, Ambrose, alongside his bowling partner Courtney Walsh, formed one of the most lethal bowling attacks in world cricket. Ambrose's consistent performances, backed by his towering 6'7" frame, became the cornerstone of West Indies' bowling attack. Ambrose's greatest strength was his ability to maintain relentless pressure on the opposition. He was never afraid to bowl long spells and could maintain his pace and accuracy even in challenging conditions. His bowling was built on discipline, pace, and bounce. Unlike other fast bowlers who relied on sheer pace, Ambrose possessed an uncanny ability to move the ball both ways and extract bounce from even the flattest of pitches. His speed often exceeded 90 mph, 145 km/h, but it was his ability to bowl at a consistent length and hit the stumps that made him a formidable adversary. One of Ambrose's most remarkable achievements came during the 1995 Ashes series against England, where he delivered a series of unplayable spells. His efforts were a pivotal part of West Indies' victory, and he was instrumental in demolishing England's top order. In a match against Australia in 1993, Ambrose took 6 wickets for 24 runs, one of his most memorable performances, which helped West Indies defeat Australia. His ability to bowl in partnership with Courtney Walsh, whose steady line and length complemented Ambrose's fearsome pace, was instrumental in the success of West Indies cricket at the time. Ambrose's finest hour came in the 1994-1995 series against Australia in the West Indies, where he was virtually unplayable. During this period, he was ranked as the #1 bowler in the world. His performance was so exceptional that his ability to unsettle batsmen became legendary. Ambrose's control, combined with his bounce and pace, made him one of the most feared bowlers of his time. Main achievements and records. Legendary partnership with Courtney Walsh. Ambrose and Courtney Walsh formed a partnership that was as deadly as any fast bowling duo in the history of the game. Together, they became one of the most successful bowling pairs in Test history. Ambrose's ability to bowl long spells and take wickets at crucial moments complemented Walsh's consistency and leadership. They were central to the West Indies' resurgence in the 1990s. Test cricket records. Ambrose retired with 405 wickets in 98 Test matches, making him one of the most prolific fast bowlers in the history of the game. His strike rate was exceptional, and he maintained an average of just 20.99 runs per wicket in Test matches, which is one of the best in the history of fast bowlers. He also took 22 5-wicket hauls and 3 10-wicket hauls, with his best Test match performance being 7 wickets for 25 runs against New Zealand in 1990. ODI success. In one-day internationals, ODIs, Ambrose was also a key performer for the West Indies, taking 225 wickets in 176 matches at an average of 24.12. His ODI bowling performances were vital for the team, especially during World Cups. 1992 and 1996 World Cups. Ambrose played crucial roles in both the 1992 and 1996 World Cups, even though the West Indies didn't win either tournament. His ability to bowl accurately and economically in the middle overs was essential to West Indies' performances, and he played a leading role in keeping the team competitive. Memorable spells and famous wickets. Ambrose's 1992 spell against New Zealand, where he tore through the opposition to claim a match-winning 7 wickets, remains one of the greatest individual bowling performances in Test cricket history. His match-winning spells against England, Australia, and South Africa further cemented his legacy as one of the game's greatest fast bowlers. Decline and final years. As the late 1990s approached, Ambrose's performances began to gradually decline. Injuries, the rigors of international cricket, and the emergence of younger fast bowlers like Shane Bond and Mikhail Ntini led to a decrease in his effectiveness. Ambrose played his last Test match in 2000 against India, and although he remained a prominent figure in West Indies cricket, his ability to maintain his peak form faded. In 2000, Ambrose announced his retirement from all forms of international cricket after a glittering career that spanned over a decade. He had already retired from ODIs in 1999, and his last Test series against India marked the end of an era for West Indian fast bowling. Ambrose's career was marked by grace and professionalism. And even in his final years, he remained a respected figure in world cricket. Kapil Dev Ramlal Nikunj, more famously known as Kapil Dev, was born on January 6, 1959, in Chandigarh, India. Born to a middle-class family, Kapil's early years were not marked by luxury, but rather by a strong work ethic that shaped his future in sports. His father, Ramlal Nikunj, was a businessman, and his mother, Raj Kumari, provided him with emotional support throughout his cricketing journey. From a young age, Kapil was drawn to sports, and his passion for cricket emerged when he was in his early teens. Kapil Dev attended St. Xavier's School and later Dav College in Chandigarh, where his natural athleticism became evident. Though initially interested in various sports, it was cricket that captured his heart. His early cricketing influences came from watching the legendary players of his time. Kapil was quick to develop his skills in the game, initially playing as a fast bowler and an aggressive lower-order batsman. He had a robust physique and a strong arm, which made him a formidable bowler. Despite being new to the sport at the professional level, his natural ability caught the attention of the local cricketing community. He soon joined the Haryana cricket team, where he made his domestic debut. His performances in the domestic circuit showcased his potential, particularly as a bowler capable of generating both pace and swing. Kapil's rapid rise through the ranks was marked by his adaptability, determination, and a love for the game that propelled him forward. International debut and early career. Kapil Dev's breakthrough into the Indian national team came in 1978 when he made his one-day international (ODI) debut against Pakistan at the age of 19. His performance in his early international games was far from spectacular, but his raw talent and fiery temperament quickly gained attention. Soon after, Kapil made his Test debut in 1979, against Pakistan in Faisalabad. Kapil's early years in international cricket were challenging, as he was still finding his rhythm. He had to adapt to the pressures of international cricket, and his performances were a mix of ups and downs. However, Kapil's resilience and commitment to improving his game were apparent from the outset. He worked tirelessly on his bowling technique, refining his pace and control. Over time, he developed into one of India's most reliable fast bowlers, known for his ability to swing the ball both ways and his stamina to bowl long spells. Career peak, rise to cricketing stardom. Kapil Dev's career truly reached its peak during the 1980s, a time when India was transitioning into a competitive force in world cricket. His all-round abilities, particularly his fast bowling and explosive batting, set him apart from other players of his era. His career was defined by his ability to perform in difficult conditions, both in India and abroad. The turning point in Kapil Dev's career came in 1983, when he led India to an unforgettable victory in the Cricket World Cup. India's win in the 1983 World Cup remains one of the most iconic moments in the history of Indian cricket, and Kapil's leadership and performances were crucial to the team's success. The Indian team, under his captaincy, stunned the cricketing world by defeating the mighty West Indies in the final at Lord's in London. This was India's first ever World Cup victory, and it elevated Kapil Dev to the status of a national hero. Kapil's leadership was a defining factor in this historic win. He was a calm, composed, and fearless captain who led by example on the field. He was also known for his tactical acumen, with his ability to make bold decisions and inspire his team to perform beyond their potential. His aggressive batting style and his ability to take on the best bowlers made him one of the most dangerous all-rounders of his time. His innings of 175 against Zimbabwe in the 1983 World Cup remains one of the most memorable moments of his career. Kapil's knock came at a crucial stage when India was in trouble, and his aggressive approach helped India set a total that propelled them to victory in that match. Throughout the 1980s, Kapil Dev continued to be a mainstay in India's cricketing lineup. His versatility allowed him to perform in various conditions, and his pace bowling remained a vital asset for India. His contributions as both a bowler and a batsman made him a force to be reckoned with. He was one of the few all-rounders capable of consistently making an impact with both bat and ball. Main achievements and records. 1983 World Cup victory. Kapil Dev's crowning achievement came in 1983, when he led India to victory in the Cricket World Cup. As captain, Kapil's contributions with both bat and ball were critical, and his leadership marked the beginning of a new era in Indian cricket. Fast bowling records. Kapil Dev became one of the most successful fast bowlers of his time. He was the first player to take over 400 wickets in Test cricket, setting a world record that remained unbroken for many years. His ability to consistently bowl long, accurate spells made him a stalwart of Indian cricket. All-rounder success. Kapil's status as one of the greatest all-rounders in cricket history was further solidified by his ability to contribute in all aspects of the game. He ended his career with 434 wickets in Test cricket and over 300 wickets in ODIs, making him one of the most prolific fast bowlers of all time. His contributions with the bat were equally significant, with over 5,000 runs in Tests and more than 3,000 runs in ODIs. Captaincy and leadership. Kapil Dev's leadership style was characterized by his calm demeanor and tactical acumen. Under his captaincy, India not only won the 1983 World Cup but also achieved significant victories against top cricketing nations. His success as a captain helped transform the Indian cricket team into a competitive unit on the world stage. Batting prowess. Known for his aggressive batting, Kapil played several memorable innings that were crucial to India's success. He was a powerful hitter and a key player in both the middle and lower order, often playing match-winning knocks under pressure. Decline and final years. As Kapil Dev entered the latter stages of his career, the demands of international cricket began to take their toll. Although his batting remained strong, his pace bowling began to slow down, and injuries took their toll on his body. In the early 1990s, Kapil's performances became inconsistent, and he found himself no longer a regular fixture in the Indian lineup. he was eventually replaced as captain in 1987, and his role in the team was diminished as younger players like Sourav Ganguly and Anil Kumble began to rise. Kapil Dev retired from ODI cricket in 1994 and from Test cricket in 1994 after a career spanning nearly 2 decades. His retirement marked the end of an era in Indian cricket. In his final Test match, Kapil became the first cricketer to claim 434 wickets, a record that would stand for nearly 2 decades before being broken by Muttiah Muralitharan. Jacques Kallis was born on October 16, 1975, in Cape Town, South Africa, into a sporting family. His father, Victor Kallis, was a keen sportsman, and his mother, Rosalind Kallis, was a school teacher. Jacques was introduced to sports early on, and he showed promise in multiple disciplines, including rugby, tennis, and athletics. However, it was cricket that captured his imagination. Kallis's natural athleticism combined with his technical ability made him a standout young cricketer. He attended Rondebosch Boys High School in Cape Town, where he excelled in both academics and sport. He played for the Western Province U19 team, where his performances started to draw attention. Kallis's early years in cricket were marked by his formidable all-round abilities, a combination of both batting and bowling that would later become his hallmark. At the age of 17, Kallis made his debut for Western Province in domestic cricket, and his early performances showcased his potential. A year later, in 1995, he made his debut for South Africa's national team in a one-day international, ODI, against West Indies at the age of 19. His early career showed promise, but it was in the following years that Kallis began to evolve into one of the most dominant all-rounders the game had ever seen. Rise to prominence and career peak. Jacques Kallis's early years in international cricket were filled with sporadic performances. However, as he matured, Kallis began to put together consistent displays that made him a crucial figure in South Africa's cricketing side. His versatility as both a batsman and bowler allowed him to fit into multiple roles within the team, from anchoring the innings to providing the key breakthroughs with the ball. The 1990s marked the rise of Kallis as one of the premier all-rounders in world cricket. While he was not an immediate success, his growth over the years was gradual and methodical. His first major breakthrough came in the 1996-97 South Africa tour to India, where Kallis scored his first Test century. This performance established him as a reliable middle-order batsman capable of playing both spin and pace with equal efficiency. However, it was during the 1998 tour to Australia that Kallis's potential truly began to materialize. In one of his most memorable performances, he scored a brilliant 100 against a formidable Australian bowling attack that included Shane Warne, Glenn McGrath, and Brett Lee. This century not only showcased his ability to handle the best bowlers in the world but also indicated that Kallis could thrive on the most challenging pitches. Kallis's performances continued to improve in the early 2000s, and by the time the 2003 ICC Cricket World Cup came around, he was a central figure in South Africa's team. Although the team did not win the tournament, Kallis's all-round performances were vital, including his ability to make key contributions with both bat and ball. The pinnacle of Kallis's career came in the mid-2000s, when he established himself as a cricketing legend. In 2004, Kallis reached a major milestone by becoming the first South African player to score 8,000 runs and take 200 wickets in Test cricket. A remarkable achievement that showcased his dominance in both batting and bowling. One of his career-defining moments came in 2005, when Kallis scored a monumental 162 runs against the West Indies, followed by a match-winning performance with the ball in the same series. His all-round performance helped South Africa achieve a historic win, and it firmly cemented his reputation as one of the finest all-rounders in world cricket. Kallis's combination of controlled aggression with the bat and consistency with the ball made him a crucial component of South Africa's team. Main achievements and records. Kallis's cricketing career is studded with remarkable achievements. His ability to perform consistently across both formats of the game has set him apart from other all-rounders. Some of his most notable records and achievements include: Test cricket records. Kallis is the highest run scorer among all all-rounders in Test cricket, with over 10,000 runs and 292 wickets. His ability to score runs in the middle order while taking key wickets made him one of the most valuable players in the history of the game. He became the first South African to achieve the double of 8,000 runs and 200 wickets in Test cricket, a feat that underscored his all-round ability. Kallis's career high score in Test cricket was 224 runs, which he achieved against New Zealand in 2004. His 292 wickets in Tests make him one of the most successful all-rounders with the ball, with his medium-fast bowling providing crucial breakthroughs for South Africa. One-day international, ODI, records. Kallis also dominated the shorter format of the game. He scored over 11,000 runs and took over 270 wickets in ODIs, establishing himself as one of the most successful all-rounders in the history of the format. His best performance in an ODI came when he scored a 139-run innings against Sri Lanka in 2007, leading South Africa to a comprehensive victory. Kallis was known for his ability to maintain a high batting average in ODIs while also taking wickets at crucial moments, especially during pressure situations. Cricket World Cup performances. Although South Africa never won the ICC Cricket World Cup during Kallis's career, his contributions in the tournaments were significant. In the 1999 World Cup, Kallis was one of the team's standout performers, showcasing his all-round abilities. Kallis played a crucial role in South Africa's 2011 World Cup campaign, scoring valuable runs and providing support to the younger players in the team. ICC rankings. Kallis was ranked as the #1 all-rounder in the ICC Test rankings on several occasions during his career, a testament to his ability to dominate both with the bat and ball. He was also ranked highly in the ODI rankings, often finding himself in the top 5 all-rounders. Awards and recognition. Kallis received several individual awards throughout his career, including the ICC Player of the Year award in 2005 and being named the South African Cricketer of the Year multiple times. He was also named one of the Wisden Cricketers of the Year in 2004. Decline and retirement. Despite his long and successful career, Kallis's time as an international cricketer started to wind down in the late 2010s. His performances began to show signs of inconsistency, particularly in the longer format of the game. While he was still a valuable asset, especially in ODIs, his Test cricket career began to falter in terms of performance. Kallis announced his retirement from Test cricket in 2013, marking the end of an era for South African cricket. His final Test match was against India at Cape Town in January 2014, where he was given a fitting farewell in front of his home crowd. In his final innings, Kallis was dismissed for 115 runs, bringing an emotional end to a career that spanned almost 2 decades. He continued to play one-day internationals and T20s for a brief period before retiring from all forms of international cricket in 2014. His retirement marked the conclusion of one of the most illustrious careers in cricket, and Kallis left behind a legacy as one of the greatest all-rounders of all time. Kumar Sangakkara, one of the greatest batsmen in the history of cricket, was born on October 27, 1977, in Kandy, Sri Lanka. Growing up in a family of doctors, Sangakkara was encouraged to pursue his education, but from a very young age, he exhibited a profound interest in cricket. His father, a keen follower of the sport, supported Sangakkara's aspirations, and his mother's encouragement played a pivotal role in his development as a cricketer. Sangakkara attended Trinity College in Kandy, a school renowned for producing some of Sri Lanka's finest cricketers. It was here that Sangakkara began honing his cricketing skills. He initially played as a batsman, and his natural ability was apparent even in his early years. His talent did not go unnoticed, and by the time he was in his teens, he had already begun to represent his school and later the Sri Lanka U19 team. He made his domestic debut for Kandy district in Sri Lanka's domestic competitions and, in 1997, earned a place in the Sri Lanka A team. His performances at the domestic level were impressive, and it was clear that he had the potential to make it to the senior national side. His elegant stroke play and technical soundness made him stand out among his peers, and his ability to adapt to different formats of the game indicated his future success. International debut and early career. Sangakkara made his one-day international (ODI) debut for Sri Lanka in 2000 against Pakistan. His debut came at a time when Sri Lanka was experiencing a transition in its cricketing landscape, with several experienced players retiring. The young batsman's arrival was timely, and although his early performances were unremarkable, he began to show glimpses of his potential. A year later, in 2001, Sangakkara made his Test debut against South Africa. Despite not making an immediate impact, he was soon entrusted with the role of wicket-keeper, a position that added another dimension to his career. While wicket-keeping in international cricket was a challenging responsibility, Sangakkara rose to the occasion and became known for his quick reflexes, sharp judgment, and impeccable technique behind the stumps. Though his early years in international cricket were characterized by inconsistency, Sangakkara's remarkable work ethic and determination enabled him to adapt and evolve into one of the finest batsmen of his generation. Career peak. Becoming a world-class batsman. Sangakkara's true potential as a batsman began to shine in the mid-2000s. His technical prowess, combined with his ability to play a wide range of strokes, made him a fixture in Sri Lanka's batting lineup. He soon emerged as one of the most reliable batsmen in world cricket, with a solid technique against both pace and spin. One of the defining moments of his career came in 2003, when Sangakkara played a brilliant innings in the Cricket World Cup. His performances in the tournament indicated that he was capable of handling pressure at the highest level. By 2006, he had already established himself as one of the top batsmen in international cricket. However, it was in the 2007 Cricket World Cup that Sangakkara truly made his mark on the global stage. His outstanding performances with the bat and his ability to lead Sri Lanka's charge were crucial to the team's progress in the tournament. Though Sri Lanka ultimately fell short in the final, Sangakkara's talent was undeniable, and he became a household name in world cricket. Throughout the 2000s, Sangakkara's batting performances reached new heights. His consistency, ability to score big centuries, and aptitude for playing match-winning knocks made him one of the pillars of Sri Lanka's batting lineup. He formed crucial partnerships with other Sri Lankan greats like Mahela Jayawardene and Tilakaratne Dilshan, helping Sri Lanka achieve significant victories in both Tests and ODIs. Main achievements and records: ICC World Cup Final, 2007-2011. Sangakkara played in 2 Cricket World Cup finals, in 2007 and 2011. While Sri Lanka lost in both finals, Sangakkara's performances in both tournaments were key to their success. His ability to play under pressure and lead his team with composure was evident throughout both tournaments. In 2011, he was one of Sri Lanka's leading run scorers, and his wicket-keeping and batting combined to make him one of the standout performers of the tournament. Test batting records. Sangakkara is one of only 11 players in history to have scored over 12,000 runs in Test cricket. An achievement that highlights his consistency and longevity. He has scored 38 Test centuries, making him one of the most prolific century makers in the format. He holds the highest batting average for Sri Lankan Test cricketers, which is a testament to his technical brilliance and ability to perform in a variety of conditions. ODI batting records. Sangakkara's contribution in one-day internationals was equally significant. He amassed over 14,000 runs in ODIs, including 25 centuries, making him one of the most successful and consistent ODI batsmen in history. His role as a wicket-keeper batsman in limited overs cricket allowed Sri Lanka to remain competitive in the format, and his calmness under pressure in crucial moments helped the team win several tight encounters. Captaincy. Kumar Sangakkara served as Sri Lanka's captain from 2009 to 2011, leading the team during a period of significant change and transition. Under his leadership, Sri Lanka reached the 2011 ICC Cricket World Cup final, where they were narrowly defeated by India. His leadership was marked by a calm and composed demeanor, and he was instrumental in guiding Sri Lanka to a position of strength in world cricket. Multiple awards and recognition. Sangakkara's contribution to Sri Lankan cricket earned him several accolades, including being named ICC Cricketer of the Year and ICC ODI Player of the Year on multiple occasions. He was also named in the ICC World Test Teams and the ICC ODI Team of the Decade, further cementing his place among cricket's elite players. Test captaincy. Sangakkara's leadership was widely admired for his calm and composed approach, particularly during challenging periods. His leadership helped Sri Lanka win several notable series, including victories over England and India. Final years and retirement. As Sangakkara entered the final phase of his career, his batting continued to remain at an elite level, though his role behind the stumps gradually decreased. By 2014, Sangakkara had taken the decision to step down from wicket-keeping duties in Test cricket, focusing solely on batting. This transition was crucial in prolonging his career and allowed him to focus on scoring more runs for his team. Sangakkara retired from ODI cricket in 2015, after playing in the 2015 Cricket World Cup. His last ODI match was against India in the tournament, marking the end of an era for Sri Lanka. His farewell was fitting, as he left the game with numerous records and a reputation as one of the finest batsmen in world cricket. Sangakkara continued to play Test cricket until his retirement from the format in 2015, having become the first player in history to score 4 consecutive centuries in Tests. His final Test match was against India in Colombo, where he scored a remarkable century in his farewell innings, bringing down the curtain on a remarkable career. After retiring from international cricket, Sangakkara continued his involvement with the sport through commentary, coaching, and charity work. He became a respected voice in the cricketing world, using his platform to promote the game and contribute to its development. He was also appointed as the president of the Marylebone Cricket Club (MCC) in 2019, a role that further solidified his place as one of the game's most influential figures.